Hello, good afternoon. This is David Soto talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of March 22nd through March 26th, 2021. Okay, and what I like to do right here is I will look at all the major forex currency pairs on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, and that's just so we can see what happened this past week. Okay, and then I will compare that to higher time frames such as the 4-hour daily and weekly charts. And that way I can try to give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week. Okay, so to begin with, I want to say that everything this past week was pretty much in a flat range of market, moving in a sideways fashion. We had some ups and downs for sure, but overall there was no trends. Okay, there was no trends developed. And now the week before last, okay, we had a pullback in the market. Okay, meaning, for example, the U.S. dollar has been in an uptrend for quite some time. But we had a pullback or retracement where the U.S. dollar dropped back down. Okay, now the U.S. dollar has been riding sideways, and that generally indicates that it's getting ready to be a reversal. Okay, so we should be seeing the U.S. dollar go back up. Okay, no guarantee. All right, now on the flip side, the euro, Great British pound, the Australian dollar, all those currency pairs, those are getting ready to sink because the long-term trend for those are bearish. Okay, it should be dropping. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's going to happen, and we can kind of count on that. I know a lot of people are looking forward to the U.S. dollar going up, and it has already climbed quite a bit in the past month. So anyhow, without further ado, let's look here at EURUSD. Okay, like I said, everything's in a flat range of market. We see the price ended, slightly lower than where it began, but overall, we had some highs and lows. So if you keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, like I recommended last week in buy and sell, it's okay. Okay, we had some pretty good buy and sell opportunities, and I don't know if this week we're going to see a continuation of that. But if we look at the 4-hour chart, okay, I'm going to show you something. 4-hour chart, we have a signal to buy. Okay, so which this actually came in the week before last, but market hasn't really gone back up. Okay, it's supposed to, but the overall trend, like I said, is bearish. So we look here on the daily chart. Okay, it's been dropping, right, and the weekly chart as well. So we know long term is going to be dropping. Okay, the 4-hour chart shows the buy, but there's absolutely no way it's going to be going up very high at all. And so what I think is going to happen, okay, we already have this high point here. This resistance right here hits twice. If it hits again, it's going to form a red arrow. Okay, that's about 99% guarantee. Okay, not 100%, of course, but thing is not going to be dropping. Okay, I mean, it's not going to be climbing way high up here. Okay, it's definitely going to be dropping in the long run. Probably this week we should see a downtrend form, if not the following week. Okay, so now we're going into the last full week of the month. Okay, so next week we're going to be seeing we're going to go into April, and we're going to see a lot more action happen in April. So we should see the US dollar spiking up more in April, and the euro dropping more. Okay, so I definitely feel that this will be going down within the next week or two. All right, now for this week, like I said, right now in the 30-minute time frame, we have a signal to buy, and let's look at the 1-hour time frame. We have a signal to buy on the 1 hour as well. So the price is going to go up in the beginning of the week. Okay, probably around the middle of the week we'll see it spike back down. All right, and more or less we should see a continuation of this range of market. I do think the price will end up lower than where it began. Okay, but overall it should be safe to both buy and sell using a 30-minute time frame. Okay, now right now you're on a 30-minute time frame. It shows the buy, and we see right here the price started to drop right here. And this is on a Friday afternoon when the market's pretty much dead anyways. So we should see the spike up. Okay, I would definitely wait until at least the London session on Monday to place any trades. Okay, that way the market gives time to adjust and recover from the weekend. All right, so moving on to GBPUSD. Okay, Great British pound versus US dollar. Again, we see pretty much the same scenario here. where we have a flat range of market. The price ended, slightly lower than where it began, but overall we had a lot of ups and downs, and these are some good buy and sell opportunities, okay, that we're seeing here. Now, if we look at the 4-hour chart, okay, again, we see almost the identical same thing we saw a minute ago, and I think the price is going to go up in the beginning of the week, and it should hit this high point here, which seems to be a pretty strong level of resistance right now, and we're going to see the price drop. If you look at the daily chart, we have a strong signal to sell, and if you look at the weekly chart as well. So we know long term this is going to be dropping, right? It's just going to take time. Okay, I've been preaching that. It's going to take time. So we all have to be patient and just wait it out. Okay, if you have a sell trade open, it's going to close eventually. Okay, you just got to hang in there. Okay, yes, you're going to have some swap fees, but long term it's definitely going to be dropping. I know some people had sold somewhere in this area right here, so now they're stuck in a nice little drawdown, but just hang in there because eventually it will drop for sure. Okay, so this week I feel it'd be safe to both buy and sell using a 30-minute time frame. So like I said, wait until at least the London session before you place any trades. Once you place a trade, you can feel free to close it on the opposite arrow. Okay, so for example, if you place a trade here, a buy trade, close it when you get the next red arrow. Okay, moving on to Australian dollar versus the US dollar. Okay, here we see kind of the same thing, kind of odd because right here the price is like barely moving at all. Okay, and then it just shot up around the middle of the week and then it's dropped back down some towards the rest of the week. So overall the price ended pretty much exactly where it began, and yes, I did say they would be safe to both buy and sell, so that is true. It's just some strange movement. Okay, this is not like a normal pattern. Okay, usually have a high here, low, high, low, like that. You have like a wave. This was like straight up and then down. So interesting, but nonetheless, we have kind of the same thing here. If we look at the 4-hour chart, okay, we have a signal to buy, and we know the long-term trend is bearish. It will be dropping. So what we can do here is mark this resistance right here. That seems like a pretty good strong resistance, a pretty strong high point, if you will, that the price will probably go up in the beginning of the week and touch that and then drop back down. Okay, if you look at the daily chart, it shows to sell. Okay, it's been showing that for quite a while, so we know long term is going to be dropping. And if we look at the weekly chart as well, okay, it shows to sell. So in the long term, okay, in the next few months, we're going to be seeing this drop. Okay, it's going to take some time. Okay, it's not going to happen overnight. Australian dollar is a very strong currency. Okay, it's not going to go down without a fight. So what's going to happen this week? Okay, 1 hour shows to sell and 30 minutes shows to buy. So if you look right here, the price dropped down. So I feel, here's what I feel, that this might likely repaint and drop further. So what I would do is wait, like I said, wait until at least the London session to see how things pan out. If you see a blue arrow form on the 1 hour chart, that's a good opportunity to buy. Okay, the 1 hour and 30 minute matchup, I would go ahead and buy, and then close the trade on the next opposite red arrow using a 30-minute time frame. Okay, that's key right there, using a 30-minute time frame. So, and then more or less you should be able to both buy and sell this week, because like I said, the Australian dollar is very strong. The 4 hour chart shows the buy still. All right, so once we get a signal to sell on like the 1 hour 30 minute, it'll drop. I do feel that if the price goes up and touches this, we are going to see another red arrow on the 4 hour chart. Okay, if we get a red arrow on the 4 hour chart, you could actually sell at that point and hold it for long term. You could hold it for several weeks and just ride it out. Okay, play the game, right? We know that it's going to be dropping long term. So the higher the price goes, that's when you want to sell. Okay, sell high, buy low, right? That's how Forex is all about. Moving on to US dollar versus the Swiss franc. Okay, so here we see again a flat range of market where the price ended almost exactly where it began. Okay, now we did have some good buy and sell opportunities, as you can see, and right now it shows a sell on a 30-minute time frame. So what's going to happen? Well, we know long term is going to be going up. Okay, if we look right here on the 4-hour chart, we have a signal to sell. Okay, and this is going to be the opposite of what we were just seeing with the euro, Australian dollar, and Great British pound. But I do feel the price, we had a sell signal here, but the price hasn't really dropped. Okay, started to drop a little bit, then it's just running sideways. Okay, so we look at the daily chart, we have a signal to sell also. Now this is kind of the kicker, right? And this is this actually confuses me a little bit, because now I don't know if it's going to drop more, but I don't think so, because if you look at the weekly chart, it shows to buy. So the weekly chart is always stronger than the daily, but in the short term we probably will see this drop some more. Okay, so what's going to happen this week? Okay, well, I think if you look at the daily chart, it shows to sell. Okay, and I know I said this in the last week, okay, in the previous video, I don't think it's going to drop, you know, way down here. Okay, I think we're going to see like right here. Okay, we have a strong resistance here, broke resistance, formed a support. Okay, so that right now is a strong support. Okay, and that is what I feel is going to happen. The price is going to drop here. It will form a blue arrow at this point. Okay, and then it'll shoot up higher. Okay, because this is very strong on the bullish side anyhow. So if you look at the 4-hour chart, it shows to sell. So like I showed you with EURUSD, okay, we should see the price go back up, form a red arrow, and then you can sell, right? Well, same here. We should see the price drop, touch this trend line here, or this horizontal line rather. Okay, the support line. And once you get a signal to buy on the 4-hour chart, you are good to go. Now, the only thing here is that the daily chart shows to sell as well. So I'm thinking, and I'm not a magician, I'm not a fortune teller, but I'm thinking that we should see both a blue arrow form on the daily and 4-hour chart. Okay, if not, it might drop further, but who knows? Okay, I cannot tell you the future, but I do know that the long-term trend is bullish. So what should you do this week? Okay, well, again, we're not gonna see a big drop this week. Probably the following week we'll see another drop. Okay, so you know, going into April sometime, we're going to see another retracement, and we'll see the price resurge back up. Okay, like I said in the beginning of the video. So this week, I do feel it would be safe to both buy and sell, just like it was this past week. Okay, this past week we had the opportunity to buy and sell, and like I said, it's right in the sideways fashion, but we should see this drop some more this week. Okay, so hopefully, you know, we won't see a huge drop, but as long as we don't have, as long as we don't see the price, you know, drop below here, we should be good to see for both buy and sell. I think because right now the short-term trend is showing bearish, I think the price will end lower than where it began. I might be wrong, but that is what I'm thinking. So we definitely can count on this dropping more this week, but overall it's going to be like this. It's going to be a slow and steady drop, okay, with a lot of highs and lows in the middle. So yes, keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, and feel free to both buy and sell, because this is not going to be a huge drop. Okay, it would most likely end a few hundred points lower than where it began. Okay, or you know, it might break this support right here. If I mark this support and we zoom out, okay, I am looking for the price to break here and drop to here. Okay, so different levels. I feel it definitely will hit this point. Whether it will break or not, I don't know, but more or less we should see a, you know, a sideways ranging market, okay, with a slight drop, and the price should end. Price will probably drop here, go back up, drop like this, go back up like that. Okay, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know, but that is what I think will happen this week. All right, so moving on to US dollar versus Japanese yen. Okay, again we see pretty much a flat range of market where the price ended almost exactly where it began, and we have some really good buy and sell opportunities. Right now, the 30-minute chart, it shows to buy. Right? So, should we buy right now? Possibly, because Japanese yen and the US dollar have a kind of a different correlation than other pairs. Okay, so if we look at it on the 4-hour chart, okay, 4-hour chart again shows to sell, right? But zoom out. Yeah, it looks good right there. As you can see, it's not really dropping, is it? It just running sideways. So yes, we probably will see it drop some more, but it's not going to be a huge drop. Okay, if you look at the daily chart, it shows to drop, and the weekly chart shows to buy. All right, so now, thing is though, we had this huge gain right here. That is not astronomical, but that is huge. Okay, that's a big gain, and now it's just stuck there. Okay, yes, I think we will see a retracement, drop back down, and then pull back up again. Okay, look right here. Look in the past to kind of tell the future. In the past, we saw a big spike up and then this big long drop back down. It took a long time for the price to drop. So we see the big spike up again. So we're probably going to see a slow and steady drop back down. I don't know. Okay, I'm not a fortune teller. But what I do know is the US dollar is gaining strength. Okay, US dollar overall is getting bigger and getting stronger. Okay, so with that said, I don't think there's going to be a huge drop. Okay, and how far will the price drop? That's the big question. I cannot answer that, but we see here there's a strong resistance here. Okay, and that's now a support. So this would be my ultimate target. Okay, if we look at the weekly chart, we can see that the price could drop back down to here and then go back up some more. That's going to take probably a few weeks, if not a few months, for that to happen. Okay, so we're going to see right now the US dollar is kind of stalled out, so we're going to see a lot of range of markets, and then probably going to see a retracement, drop back down some more, and then eventually it's going to kick back up. Okay, this is going to take some time. It's going to take a few weeks, maybe another month. I don't know exactly, but definitely not this week, or probably not next week. We will see a big gain for the US dollar. All right, it's just not going to happen. So what's going to happen this week? Well, if we look at the past week, it's been in a flat range of market, so I do feel that it will be safe to both buy and sell this week. Just wait until at least the New York session, okay, on Monday, and then place your trade. Okay, so I hope that helps a little bit. If we look here at US dollar versus Canadian dollar, again, we have some really kind of strange movement, but overall, again, the price ended almost exactly where it began. It did end slightly higher, but overall, we have some good opportunities to buy and sell. This right here was kind of odd, where it just went up and sideways. But again, yes, this is some very strange movement. But you know, the US dollar, like I said, is stalled out, and the Canadian dollar as well. So they're kind of not really matching up very well right now. Okay, so what do we do this week? Okay, let's look at the 4-hour chart real quick. Okay, so I can end this video. Look at the 4-hour chart here. We have a strong signal to buy now. Okay, so ooh, that's a lot different than what we were seeing before. And if we look at the daily chart as well and the weekly chart as well, okay, so yes, this price had dropped down some more. Okay, this past week, not a lot, but we said the price had dropped down, which is, this is the retracement I was talking about. Now the price is starting to go back up again. Okay, so what's going to happen? Okay, well, US dollar right now is still kind of weak, so I don't think we're going to see a big gain. Okay, now the US dollar and Canadian dollar, they're both equally strong, so it's kind of like to the best man win. You know, who is the stronger of the two? Okay, so they're both pretty strong currencies. Well, if we look here on the weekly chart, this is something I pointed out before, but I want to point out again. Okay, if we look here, this marks our resistance on the downtrend. We have a downtrend, we have a resistance. Whenever you have a resistance, you know, I mean, you have a downtrend, you need to find the resistance. Okay, if you have an uptrend, you need to find the support. Okay, if that makes any sense. All right, so here we mark our resistance. We mark all the high points. So we're looking for this to break. Okay, I'm looking at the weekly chart. I'm looking at the long-term aspect of this. Okay, yes, it shows the buy, but we're not officially in an uptrend yet. Okay, it's going to take some time. If you look right here on the daily chart, I'll have to kind of redraw this a little bit, but it's the same concept. Okay, mark all these high points. So what we're looking for is just to break. All right, then it's going to break and form a support and bounce off. Okay, this is a daily chart, so it's going to take a few weeks for that to happen, probably about 2 weeks. All right, so what's going to happen this week? Okay, well, we're going to definitely see the price work its way back up to this trend line. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of highs and lows. Overall, I think we should buy only. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you, but I'm going to put in the notes below that we should buy only for just the US dollar, Canadian dollar, because this one is definitely showing to be signs that it's going to go up this week only. Okay, so now if you look at the 30-minute chart, it says to sell. So wait until you get a buy signal. In the beginning of the week, we should see the price drop back down, and then towards the middle of the week, we see it spike back up. So be patient, wait for the buy signal, and then place your trade and close it on the opposite red arrow, and you should be perfectly fine. Okay, so with that said, if you have any questions at all or any comments, please feel free to hit me up on Facebook. There is a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. Okay, you can contact me there first. Also, there is a link for my private Facebook group. Okay, request to join my Facebook group, and it's this way you can post any questions or comments in my Facebook group. Okay, and then myself or other traders, we can all collaborate as a team and have an open discussion about this. Okay, so with that said, I look forward to helping you. Thank you and have a wonderful day.